Today's video is sponsored by the team over at ASICmarketplace.com. With crypto mining hardware prices dropping, it's critical to find an online store you can trust with your ASIC purchases. The team at ASICmarketplace.com has you covered with some of the most competitive pricing on the market. No matter what brand you're looking for, ASIC Marketplace has it. To name just a few: Bitmain, Goldshell, WhatsMiner, IBLink, 𝗖𝗹𝗆, JazzMiner, and many more. There are no surprises with ASIC Marketplace. The price listed on their website includes shipping. Imagine that. Finally, ASIC Marketplace takes the buying experience to the next level by accepting cryptocurrency as payment directly on their store. Go check out ASIC Marketplace today via the link in this video's description down below, as well as save $50 at checkout with the discount code TheHobbyistMiner. So I might have gotten a little bullish on KASPA. What is going on, miners, and welcome back to the Hobbyist Miner channel. Well, I made a mistake, and I'll be the first one to admit it. So let's go back 7 months ago. And this guy you may know. Do you know who he is? 𝗟𝗏𝗃. Yep, that's right. 𝗟𝗏𝗃 went ahead and talked about mining KASPA. And more specifically, he did a guide on his YouTube channel on how to mine KASPA and how to solo mine KASPA. And at that time, 7 months ago, nobody was talking about KASPA. No one even knew about KASPA. And I'll be the first to admit, I watched the video and went, nah, another shitcoin. I'm going to go ahead and move on with my day. But now, 7 months later, who's the fool? This guy right here. I am coming to KASPA late. I'm coming to the game with very little KASPA mined. I only started mining KASPA just a few weeks ago, and my bags are very, very small. But what am I doing? Well, it's time to go ahead and play catch up. So in today's video, we're going to go through everything in my farm that I have on KASPA and why. And then at the very end of this video, I'm going to share with you guys what I purchased recently to go ahead and double down on KASPA. All right, so first we're going to start out with my GPUs, and then we're going to get into some ASICs. And yes, that's right, I have some ASICs on KASPA. I'll explain in just a minute. So jumping over to 𝗘𝗏𝗏𝗏, I have two farms set up, one for my garage and one for my shed. So let's go ahead and jump into the garage. We have two GPUs in our garage currently right now, in a GPU stack actually, with the 𝗟𝗏𝗃 mining frames. So the first rig is on Ergo, okay? But we're more specifically going to talk about the second rig here, which is on KASPA. And this is a rig that I built not too long ago. I actually did a full build video on this. I was so excited to take my RX 580s and put them on KASPA. Now, these overclock settings aren't insane because I went for stability. I have been able to tweak them a little bit to get the watts a little bit lower, but I wanted to have stability at the end of the day. So I went ahead and went with these overclock settings that put me at around 129 mega hash on KASPA at only 56 to 65 watts total in the software. And I love this rig. I'm so thrilled to be able to go ahead and take my old RX 580s and get them on KASPA doing just over 1 gigahash with 8 RX 580s, and the watts are just around that 500 watt mark, which is fantastic. All right, so let's go ahead and jump over to my shed. So in the shed right now, we have a handful, 5 or 6 different rigs dedicated to KASPA. We have one rig on Flux, and that is to continue to build those Flux parallel assets. Gotta keep on it. I love those future snapshots and the parallel assets that you can earn. So let's go ahead and take a look at our first rig that is on KASPA, which is our Miner Dude rig. And this is of course, Miner Dude X8. We have a variety of 3060 and 3060 Ti's. 3060 is looking good, 280 when it comes down to our mega hash, at only 37 to 40 watts in the software, and the 3060 Ti's kicking ass at 411 mega hash at only around 54 to 60 watts. This rig right here, man, is awesome at 2.899 gigahash on KASPA at a total of 490 watts. That's insane, because remember we just talked about my 580 rig that was 1 gigahash at 500 watts. This is almost 3 gigahash with newer 30 series on 500 watts, which is amazing. Jumping over to our next rig here, this is an X12 octo miner, and we're coming in with 12 6600s a variety of Hynix as well as Micron memory. And look at these things. 333 up 335 when it comes down to our hash rate. So all within 2 mega hash. And look at those watts. Man, these cards are so efficient. I love the 6600s. The price is cheap now. They're easy to get to. And check it out. We're between 65 to 70 watts total on each of those with some basic core and memory settings here, 2150 and 1000 memory. Now, I have seen boatloads of videos on the 6600s with tweaking everything with all the different settings and nailing this down for a few different here and there. But what I found was when I did that these cards were not as stable as I wanted. Yeah, you got your watts down significantly lower. You lost a decent amount of hash rate, but your cards aren't stable. Guys, I need my cards to be stable 24/7. And this X12, man, it just runs. It's phenomenal. It works really well at 4 gigahash. 4 gigahash for 12 GPUs. And look at our watts there. Right around 1000 watts total. This rig is my biggest rig right now, and it's performing amazing. Can you tell we're a little excited? I know I am. It's so excited to have this many GPUs up and mining and on one algorithm, which is great. And I don't even know if we use the word speculative here because of how well KASPA has been doing. So this rig, we have 2 different algorithms. I have you guys are gonna love it, 6500 XT. Do you remember this? This card was from back when, just after the Ethereum merge, and 𝗟𝗏 and 𝗟𝗏 were like our saviors. Well, I got the 6500 XT, worked with 𝗖𝗹Che, and we got this running, and it's on the 𝗟𝗓. And yeah, it's 8.9 mega hash, which is like nothing. And it's only 35 watts. But the nice thing is it continues to build my 𝗟𝗓CE bag. So in this rig, I have that 1 GPU, but the 7 remaining GPUs are all on KASPA, giving us another 2.457 gigahash. Now, I do have some 6600 XTs in here, as well as 6600s. 6600s, easy to configure, good to go. The 6600 XTs I found have been really finicky on KASPA. Not sure how you guys feel about them. If you guys have some better overclock settings for them, please leave them down below because I have struck out quite a bit with KASPA on the 6600 XT overclock settings. So we can't forget about this rig. One of my favorite rigs, 1660 Ti's, all matching of the MSI Gamer X. Those are the RGB cards. They look so cool. 270 mega hash on each of them at, look at that, 33, 38, 37, 34 watts. Incredible. 2.1 when it comes down to our gigahash, and look at that power consumption, 300 watts. Now, granted, I understand everything in the software isn't exactly accurate. We need to go ahead and add plus here, not really minus, but add plus to it. But still, we're just going to read off this for now. But man, I love taking these older GPUs and putting them to work here, especially ones like this that uses low. That's 30 watts. That is just plain stupid. But 2.1 gigahash there at 300 watts. All right, so finally, my heaviest hitting rig right now, giving me the most hash rate here, very close to that X12 6600 rig, is a 3070 KASPA rig. This is one that I did a video on last week on KASPA. I just got this built. This is my first 3070 rig. And I have those matching GPUs in there that we've been cleaning and working on during my live streams recently. Guys, 503 mega hash on KASPA each at around 60, 63, 64 watts. I mean, come on, guys. This is just, it makes me think back to, like, you know, when right before like the ETH merge and with like Ethereum and stuff like that, and just like 100 plus or whatever was the norm. And then after the merge occurred and we were like so flux and ergo driven, but like now it's like, man, the watts are awesome. Like, this is making me start to think about, if I can expand my farm, what GPUs am I going to get? And it's like, man, right now I'm looking at those 3070s because, man, I can put double or triple the amount of watts that I'm using because of how low KASPA runs. But yeah, this rig here, don't want to get off on a tangent too much, 4 gigahash at 600 watts. All right, so in total, just with our GPUs, we're going to talk about ASICs in a minute. In total on the GPUs right now, we're at 16.6 gigahash. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. I love it. So 16 gigahash right now. Our watts are not that high either. I mean, this has been awesome, but we're coming to the game late. So how are we going to catch up here? Let me show you. All right, so let's talk stacking KASPA, especially with ASICs. So I just got this package in and I thought, well, let's go ahead and get this set up and I can explain a little bit more. This is the Mini Doge 2 from the guys over at ASICmarketplace.com. Check that out. That looks so cool. So, gold shell, Mini Doge 2. Now, this thing was very short-lived when it came down to profitability. Oh, look at that. I got some like stuff. Plastic on the side. Get off of there. Very short-lived when it came down to profitability, especially for how many watts that it uses. And so these didn't last very long when it came down to the hype as well as from the profit side. But what I thought about was, what if we take, and a few of these that I have, different models, things like that, even other ASICs, and we put them on Unmineable. I don't know if you guys knew, you can take script miners, put them on Unmineable, and instead of like trying to stack Doge and Litecoin and stuff, you can get paid out in KASPA. So let me get this set up and I'll show you guys exactly what we're doing. In the meantime, go give these guys some love. Go over to ASICmarketplace.com. I'll put a link directly down below if you guys want to check this out and other miners. Thanks again for them for supporting the channel. All right, check it out. We are up and running. We have our gold shell Mini Doge 2 plugged into the veteran miner cables, into a breakout board, and into a 1200 watt power supply. And we are up and mining. Let's go ahead and jump over to the computer and I'll tell you guys how we're mining and earning KASPA. All right, so we have our gold shell Mini Doge 2 from the guys over at ASICmarketplace.com up here. And at the regular hash rate mode does between 400 to 420 mega hash. So we've been up just for about 8 to 10 minutes now and we're off and mining, right? Well, let's go ahead and take a look because yes, we're script mining. That's what this does. It mines, it's a script miner and you earn Doge and Litecoin. But if you take a look at our miner, check this out. We're actually mining to Unmineable with the script algorithm. But instead of getting paid out in Doge and Litecoin, Unmineable is converting it and paying us out in KASPA. So I'm doing this with several of my ASICs. So if you come over to Unmineable and you select KASPA, not only can you mine the 𝗀𝗃 algorithm and then get paid out in like whatever you want, like Flux or Ergo, whatever, but you can mine something like I am, script, and then get paid out in KASPA, which is exactly what we're doing. So if I go over and click addresses, I'm going to show you guys here. You can see here we have one script miner. It's up and running. It actually hasn't even registered that long. It's only been up for about 10 minutes, so it's only showing 26 mega hash. Give it a few minutes, you'll see it fully show the 420 here. But check it out, it's on here. But what else do we have on here? Well, if we do etc hash, this is where we're really getting some hash rate. So check this out. We have 4 gigahash coming in from our E9 Pro, mining Ethereum Classic with the E9 Pro, and then getting paid out in KASPA. In addition to that, a Jasminer X4Q, this is that boxy, quiet looking unit, does 1 gigahash on Ethereum Classic as well, getting paid out in KASPA. And then finally, the Jasminer X41U, that's that small, skinny unit that we built the fans onto, does anywhere between 520 to 550 mega hash, mining Ethereum Classic, getting paid out in KASPA. So I've added my first mini gold shell series 2 to this, and I'm now taking advantage of it with the script miner. It's like, yeah, I could mine Doge and Litecoin, but it's not really doing super well. So it's like, why don't we just take that and convert it into KASPA and just stack and stack and stack KASPA? And that's exactly what I started doing. Now, if we go ahead and take a look at my payments, I've only been on this for a short time. The first one was like a day and a half or whatever, but today's payment, 324 KASPA already, and the day is not over, which is awesome with just a handful of ASICs. All right, so how are we doubling down on KASPA? What are we doing? Well, we've gone ahead and we've made a purchase. That's right. Exactly what's on the screen. I worked with the guys over at Coastal Crypto Mining and we went ahead and picked up the multi-miner M2 FPGA miner. And I'm so excited. I mean, look at this thing. It's an FPGA, my first FPGA. It looks exactly like a kind of like a gold shell light a little bit. It's like this skinnier form factor to it. It's in like an ASIC chassis, but it's my first FPGA. And yes, that's right, we're going to be focusing on KASPA. Now, as you guys can see here, and I'll leave a link directly down below, this unit here could do 10.5 gigahash on KASPA at only 1300 watts, which is nuts to talk about, because when we looked at some of the hash rate like of my GPUs, none of those GPUs come close. Like even with the 3070s, none of them come close at 10 gigahash at 1300 watts. So I'm really excited. This is my avenue to hopefully jump in and to kind of, should I say, catch up here and make some headway with it between my GPUs, between my ASICs, and then between my FPGA. I'm really excited. Now, why did I go with this FPGA? Well, it actually mines a variety of different coins, and that was the reason I went with this direction versus some of the other FPGAs out there that don't have as many bit streams developed. So this one here, even after, let's say something happens with KASPA, I can pivot to something like Dash if I wanted to, or even to Dana, which I kind of eye up after taking a look at everything as a whole. That's going to wrap up things for today's video. I have 2 questions for you guys, and I'd love to see your comments down below. First question, how much hash rate do you have on KASPA? And second, when did you get into KASPA? And did you make the same mistake that I did and overlook the coin, and now I'm scrambling to build my bags or to take profits? Guys, that's going to wrap things up for today. I appreciate you joining me. If you enjoyed today's video, give it one of these, and I'll see you guys next time. Today's video is sponsored by the team over at Unmineable.com. What if you could mine with your mining hardware and then get paid out in the cryptocurrency you most desire? The team at Unmineable.com has you covered. In a few easy steps, you can select one of 10 mining algorithms to mine and then get paid out in over 40 different crypto assets. Talk about making crypto mining easy in the bear market. Unmineable has it all. CPU, GPU, and ASICs are all supported on Unmineable.com. Go check out Unmineable.com today and tell them the Hobbyist Miner sent you.